John Silas. Jack Reed was an American journalist, poet, and socialist activist, best remembered for his first-hand account of the Bolshevik Revolution, 10 Days That Shook the World. He was married to writer and feminist Louise Bryant.Reed. Died in Russia in 1920, and was buried at the Kremlin Wall Necropolis, one of only 2 Americans to have been given this honor in Russia, the other being labor organizer Bill Haywood. Early life. John Reed was born on October 22, 1887, in his maternal grandmother's mansion in Portland, Oregon, with Chinese servants in today's Goose Hollow neighborhood. He wrote of paying a nickel to a Goose Hollowite to keep from being beaten up. A memorial bench overlooks the site of Reed's birthplace in Washington Park. His mother, Margaret Green Reed, was the daughter of a leading Portland citizen who had made a fortune through 3 enterprises: as owner of the first gas works in Oregon, owner of the first pig iron smelter on the West Coast, and as second owner of the Portland Water Works. John's father, Charles Jerome Reed, was the representative of an agricultural machinery manufacturer who had come to town from the East. With his ready wit, he quickly won acceptance in Portland's business community. The family's wealth came from the Green side, not the Eastern transplanted Reed side. His parents were married in 1886. A sickly child, young Jack grew up surrounded by nurses and servants, and his upper-class playmates were carefully selected. His brother, Harry, was 2 years younger. Jack and his brother were sent to the recently established Portland Academy, a private school. Jack was bright enough to pass his courses but could not be bothered to work for top marks, as he found school dry and tedious. In September 1904, Jack was sent to Morristown School in New Jersey to prepare for college, as his father, who never attended a university, wanted his sons to go to Harvard. At this prep school, Jack continued his track record of poor classroom performance. Although he did make the football team and showed literary promise, Reed failed in his first attempt on the admission exam but passed on his second try, and in the fall of 1906 he entered Harvard College. Tall, handsome, and light-hearted, he threw himself into all manner of student activities. He was a member of the cheerleading team, the swimming team, and the dramatic club. He served on the editorial boards of the Lampoon and the Harvard Monthly and as president of the Harvard Glee Club. In 1910 he held the position of Kappa Rho Omicron Delta Iota Lambda Omicron Sigma in the Hasty Pudding theatricals, and also wrote music and lyrics for the show Diana's Debut. Reed failed to make the Harvard teams for football and crew, but excelled in other sports of lesser prestige, swimming and water polo. He was also made Ivy Orator and Poet in his senior year of college. Reed also attended meetings of the Socialist Club, over which his friend Walter Lippmann presided, but he never joined. Still, the club left its impact on his psyche. The group had social legislation introduced into the state legislature, attacked the university for failing to pay its servants living wages, and petitioned the administration for the establishment of a course in socialism. Reed later recalled, "All this made no ostensible difference in the look of Harvard society, and probably the club men and the athletes who represented us to the world never even heard of it. But it made me, and many others, realize that there was something going on in the dull outside world more thrilling than college activities, and turned our attention to the writings of men like H.G. Wells and Graham Wallas, wrenching us away from the Oscar Wildean dilettantism which had possessed undergraduate literateurs for generations." Reed graduated from Harvard College in 1910, and that summer he set out to see more of the dull outside world, visiting England, France, and Spain before returning home to America the following spring. Reed chose to work for his fare to Europe on a cattle boat and experience the way of a common laborer. Reed's traveling was encouraged by his favorite professor, Charles Townsend Copeland or Copey, who told him he must see life if he wanted to successfully write about it.